And we are back with segment 2 of the RE/MAX Magnolia Real Estate Show with myself, Curtis Pope, and Michele Cummins. And before we get into the stats, because I know you've got them all there for you, I just want to, make you feel old for a second. On Thursday,
I don't need any help with that, Curtis.
I know. On Thursday, Cassidy Pope turned 18.
Oh, she's literally an adult now.
Well, physically, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
18. I mean,
18.
she can't even go into Subway and order a sub for herself. I have to go in for her.
Well, one more year and she could buy real estate.
Well, there we go.
I've got her covered.
There we go. Well, can you work on that already? Start getting her thinking that way?
Yes,
and yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, that'd be great.
18. Oh, my gosh. I remember when she got her license.
Yeah.
Aw. Did you get her something pineapple?
No, I didn't get her anything pineapple this year. Her and her mom went in a little shop.
Oh, fun.
I had dog duty.
Shopping spree.
They had a little mini shopping spree. I took care of the puppy, and they went.
Timbit.
Yeah, Timbit. So we had some grandpa Timbit time, and they went shopping, and I was more than happy with that. I got the better end of the deal.
Aw, that's awesome. Well, congratulations, Case. I can't believe it. She's 18.
I know. So I figure you must have stats for us.
Yeah.
So we should probably get right into them.
I got 18 stats for you.
18.
That's the same exact day of my anniversary of my property. I can't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been 7 years. 7 years now. I love it. Anyways, I love anniversaries and birthdays. So this came out, the stats, December 3rd for November. The Fraser Valley home sales returning to seasonal norms in November after our October surge that we had. I've got some Chilliwack stats for us too today. If we can get to it, we will get to that as well. But for the Fraser Valley real estate, the board recorded 15% down the sales from October. So sales were down. Actually, Chilliwack were up. But we'll get to that later. And it was 28% above the November of last year, though. So even though it was better than last year, it was down from the month before. Buying and selling activity is typically quiet at this time of year anyways. But it's worth noting that in November, sales were higher and compared to even 2 Novembers. So the last 2 Novembers, we were still higher this November. So that's good. A decline in new listings chipped away at overall inventory in November, with active listings declining 8%. Overall inventory, however, remains at a 10-year seasonal high and 30% above November 2023 levels. New listings dropped 26% in November, but remain above the 10-year seasonal average and above levels from November last year. The Fraser Valley remains a balanced market right now with sales to active ratio of 14%, and the market is considered to be balanced when the ratio is between 12 and 20%. So we're at 14%. And the average time to sell a single family home right now is 43 days. For condos, it's 36 days, and townhomes are an average 33 days to sell. Now, going back to Harrison Highlands, those half duplexes, they're not strata. Just want to make sure. Talking about condos and townhomes, these are half duplexes, and row homes are the same thing. No strata maintenance fees or rules or bylaws. Let's get back into this now. So benchmark prices for the Fraser Valley dipped that eighth straight month in a row, and benchmark price is down 0.2% from what it was at $969,500. Now, going into single-family benchmark prices, were all together, the whole Fraser Valley is at $1,482,600. So that's a decrease of 0.4% compared to October and a decrease of 0.1% compared to November last year. Townhouses are at $835,100, and that's an increase of 0.3% compared to October, but decrease of 0.2% compared to November last year. Apartments at $536,100, and that is a decrease of 1.3% compared to October and a decrease of 1.2% compared to November of last year. So surprisingly, that the lowest price point category of apartments have decreased more than the townhouses and detached. So let's start with Abbotsford with detached benchmark prices now, because we want to go into specific municipalities rather than the overall. So let's see what that's like. Curtis, okay, so benchmark prices. Detached, $1,193,000 in Abbotsford. That is up 2.9% from last year. Yay! Down 0.2% from the month before. Townhouses are at 651,000. That is up 1.9% from last year and up 0.3% from the month before. And condos at 438,400, up 0.9% from last year, but down 1.9% from the month before. And detached in Mission, currently benchmark price at $1,026,100. That is up 3.6% from last year and up 0.9% from October. Townhouses are at 678,300, up 3.4% from last year and up 0.5% from the month before. Apartments, 463,300, up 3.2% from last year, up 0.8% from the month before. And then now let's go into White Rock, South Surrey. Detached benchmark prices at $1,871,400, and that's actually down 3.7% from last year and down 1.9% from the month before. Townhouses at $952,100, almost $1 million for a townhouse in White Rock, South Surrey. That's down 1.8% from last year, but down 0.6% from the month before. Apartments at $615,300. That's down 4.2% from last year and down 4.5% from the month before. Detached prices in Langley are at $1,618,400, and that's up only 0.4% from last year and up 0.3% from the month before. Townhouses are at $867,200. That's exactly actually the same as it was 1 year ago and only 0.3% more than the month before. Apartments at $601,000. That's down 0.4% from last year, down 0.6% from the month before. North Delta, detached prices at $1,484,400. That's up 4.3% from last year, up 1.1% from the month before. Townhouses at $957,200, up 1.9% from last year, exactly the same from last month, up 1.9%. So apartments at $569,200. That's down just 1.1% from last year and down 2% from the month before. Sorry, did I say last year down 0.1%? Don't know if I said that properly, but there you go. Just to make sure.
Well, I think you straightened it out now. I was, listening to all the numbers and I got overwhelmed by them, but I think you got us on the right track.
I'm trying to slow down this month because if I say it too fast, it's hard to remember, and then you got to try to rewind. How do you rewind live radio? You can't. Rewind live radio.
You can't rewind, and if you, if you just, and if you go too fast, we can't clarify it for people, and they have to go listen to the podcast and then go back and re-listen over and over and over.
Yes.
Which maybe that's a good plan.
Yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, make sure you look up the RE/MAX Magnolia radio show.
Then
Country
you can listen to
107.1.
all these stats,
all of them, over and over again.
Over and over again, and make sure, hey, you know what? Never mind, do it fast.
That's right. It goes up on Tuesdays on the podcast, so y'all know. Okay, so City of Surrey combined, like all of Surrey, okay? So detached benchmark prices are at $1,602,900. That's down 1% from last year, down 0.9% from the month before. And townhouses are at $864,700. That's down 0.1% from last year, down 0.4% from the month before. And apartments at $526,200. That's down 1.5% from last year, down 0.1% from the month before. And that is your Fraser Valley real estate statistics. Did anything stand out to you, Curtis? Surprise?
No, we've seen some trends kind of, over the last little while. Everything, matches up to the real estate guru that I talk to.
That's right.
And I do have lots of questions. And, it's been interesting because pretty much you and your team, everything I've asked, even a year ago, is really kind of, for the most part, been in line with what has happened. You guys saw the trends and where it was going.
Yeah, we live and breathe it 24/7 in our sleep when we get to sleep.
Yeah, no, you guys, said it was going to, go down and it was going to start to come up, and we were, and when you guys have called balanced markets, you've called, buyers markets, when it's flipped back and forth over the last 12 months, you guys seem to know what you're doing.
Yeah, we try.
Slowly but surely, I'm starting to figure this out, and I start to understand it.
That is the goal.
Another 6 years of doing this show, I will know how to handle this.
Perfect.
I'm a bit of a slow learner.
Yeah, actually, our August was 6 years. We were just talking about that too.
Yeah, 6 years.
Show. Yeah.
Nobody's had to put up with me 6 years other than my wife, so congrats.
Hopefully we don't get the 7-year itch, okay?
Yeah,
We're working on...
Next year, you're like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. So a little bit about Chilliwack before we end our show today, because we're almost done here. But, the units of properties of single family homes that sold in Chilliwack are actually up from last year. So that's a good thing. There's a good balanced market there as well. Prices remain strong, remain the same. And, Chilliwack is a growing community. It's got the 1881 district, and Sardis is a beautiful area, Garrison Crossing, beautiful area. And it's this whole area. I consider Chilliwack and that whole Agassiz area to Rosedale, Yarrow coming closer to Abbotsford. I really consider it the part of the Fraser Valley as well. A lot of people do. But according to the real estate boards, because we have different boards, we have them separated. But really, Fraser Valley is really all the way out to Hope to me.
Yeah, it's all along the Fraser River.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about Chilliwack is, we've been kind of, because we're always looking at real estate. My wife's got a fascination with it, and I have an interest as well. And, we've started thinking about what it'd be like to be mortgage-free. And, you look out in Chilliwack, and you can get a home that's maybe 5-6 years old. It's beautiful. It's out towards Promontory or up towards Ryder Lake. And it's like $300,000-$400,000 less than a home here in Abbotsford.
Yeah, easily. Like, there's some great finds out there, great places, great views, great community. It's got all the shopping that you would need or want.
Except a Costco.
That's coming, though. I'm sure of it.
But you're right. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in Chilliwack, and it's one of the last places where you can find affordable homes, somewhat affordable homes. It's subjective. In the Lower Mainland, it's basically that and Mission. That's about it.
I just listed 2 properties there, one in Garrison Crossing, which is so cute and adorable, and you can walk to everywhere. Just check out my website, michelecummins.ca, for that. There's also one on Chester that I just listed on lease land, and it was the show home of the original development, and it's so cute. It's like the all-American picket white fence look of a house that you would always have wanted, with a detached garage and a cute little yard, corner property, and it's just so cute. Anyways, that's a brand new listing as well, and it's on leased land, like a 100-year lease. It's way less than you would get if you own the land, right? So it's a way of getting a larger home for a lot less.
Right.
So there's more of those opportunities out in Chilliwack, where you don't really see that much in other Fraser Valley municipalities. Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else we have to say before you have to run off?
That's about it. Happy Saturday, everyone. Come out to the Candlelight Parade in Mission if you can. Parking's going to be crazy, so come early and grab your front seat. And, have a great weekend. And if I'm not back before the end of the year, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone.
No, absolutely. And, of course, if people want to see your listings and what you have, stats, things like that, where can they go?
RemaxMagnoliaRealty.com.
And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.